We're going to make a naturally gluten-free cake. It's a hazelnut and orange. It's beautiful and moist, and I'm going to top it with ganache and caramelised hazelnuts. For our hazelnut orange torte, we will need hazelnut meal, whole hazelnuts, cocoa, sugar, eggs. We'll need egg white and egg yolks, orange juice, orange rind, and a second lot of sugar. For our ganache, we will need chocolate, cream, milk, and butter. For our caramelised hazelnuts, we will need sugar, water, glucose, and toasted hazelnuts. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my hazelnuts meal in and the hazelnut whole in the oven to roast. Pop that in the oven. So I'm going to separate my eggs. I actually always use large eggs, 70 gram. I just find that otherwise I'm second guessing what I should be using. Okay, so we need to zest our orange. So we want just the skin and we're going to use fresh orange. So look, it's not great if you want to use orange juice. It's totally different. And at the moment it's beautiful because there's navel oranges around. So I thought it's a good time to make these. And the juice of our orange. Okay, and we're going to sift our cocoa. Okay, so always sift cocoa because it has lumps. And I'm using a really nice quality cocoa. So there is really very different types of cocoa. So I'm using a red cocoa, but I am using a good quality one. Okay, so you'll notice today I'm using a tart tin. Okay, so I'm going to use that upside down to my cake. But we just do exactly the same thing. Okay, so you can see that's the right size. And we're going to do our triangle so that we know what size our base should be. We're going to oil it really well, and we're not going to put any paper up the sides that much. And we'll oil it. So to give them a good oil, and I'm using a 20 centimetre tart tin, but I'm using a deep tart tin because this cake is only fairly narrow. Okay, so open this up, pop it in, like so. I'm just going to take my hazelnuts out. So if you want to take the skin off, we're going to put them in here, like so. Wrap it in a tea towel and then rub, and that takes the skin off. So if you don't want to have the skin in your cake, that's how you do it. Whatever comes off, that's enough because the rest of it won't come off. Now I'm going to roughly chop those and pop those into my bowl. And by that time, my hazelnut meal will be done as well. Now we want to have a bit of whole hazelnuts in this. That's what's really nice about this because it's got two textures. So I'm just roughly chopping it. And I'll pop that into my bowl. So we've roasted the hazelnuts just so it's got a bit of colour and a bit of flavour. Okay, and I'm going to pop that in. Mix that through. We want our orange juice. So we're going to pop our egg yolks and our sugar on. So pop that in. Just give this a quick mix. Set that aside. So it's good to do this now because the cocoa's going to hydrate, you can see. Okay, so set that aside and we're going to pop our egg white on. So this is my first lot I'm going to put in, so you can see it's starting to be silky. Now you can see that it's actually holding a shape. So now I'll put the second lot in. So you can see that it's held the shape, but it's still got a nice silky soft texture, which is what we want. So now I'm going to pop that into my chocolate mixture. Okay. So I'm going to pop that in 3 lots because the only part of aeration is in this mix here. Pop it in. Okay. And we'll pop that into the oven. So we're going to move on to making the ganache. So we've got our cream, milk and butter onto boil. So this is going to go on the top of our cake. Okay. So pop that in now. Let that sit for about 30 seconds. Okay, we've got a nice smooth mix to go on our cake. We'll set that aside. So now we're going to make the caramel for our nuts. So the first thing we're going to do is put our nuts in the oven. So we need to have those nice and warm before they go into the sugar on the stove. So now we're going to add our sugar and our water. We need a very small amount of water. And we're going to stir that now until it comes to a simmer. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that our sugar's dissolved. You can see there's some sugar that's coming up the sides. So I'm going to get some water and a brush and make sure that I brush that down so that it doesn't crystallise. Okay, so just brush it down with water. Sugar climbs up the side and will crystallise the rest of the sugar. Okay, so we've got on a simmer. I'm also going to add a little bit of glucose just to stop it from getting too hard. And just stir that in. Okay, now we're looking for a nice golden brown. You can see that it's starting to colour up. It's a light amber. So if we measure that temperature, that looks great. Okay, so we need to now check our nuts, which are now ready. Okay, turn that off and take that over. So again, we want to take the skin off. So these are nice and warm, which is perfect. So because these are not the same temperature as my sugar, we need to put those in a separate bowl because we don't want to cool the sugar down. And if you add the nuts to the sugar, you'll cool it down. So if we want to have some spikes on our nuts, we can dip it in. Okay, so, but if we want to now just coat our nuts, so you want the caramel will go thicker pretty quickly. So they're nice and set. So I'm now going to do my white circles, paper piping bag. I've warmed up my chocolate in the microwave, so I've got my paper piping bag. I'm going to fill it. Little circles. Don't make them too big. Now this is just acetate. You can buy that from Officeworks. And then I'm just going to dust it with a little bit of cocoa and pop that in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Okay, so my cake's cooled now. So I'm going to actually turn it upside down. You can put the topping on. Okay, so it's very easy. So take it out of the tin, take the paper off. Our ganache is now set. Now, this is great because it's not too sweet. It's a very simple cake, but it looks spectacular. So then we're going to pop our little caramelised macadamias on. and then we're going to put our cocoa on. And then we've got our chocolate. And there you have it. So it's a really nice cake, and enjoy.